it crosses everything that you could ever know, because it's this hidden secret within a home where you don't talk about it. It's not something that you share with your neighbors. It's not like you go next door and go, God, my husband just beat me up last night, and oh, I'm so glad I got the kids off to school today, and now I can sit home and read a book. I mean, you don't go and share that. You don't go to a family reunion and go, he's such a jerk, because everybody thinks he's a great guy.
Carolyn's case sends the message to abused women that it can happen to anybody. Carolyn has a master's degree. She's intelligent. She's articulate. She's a very wealthy person. Her husband was a very wealthy person. She appeared to have had the perfect family. She has wonderful friends. You would never have expected this to happen to her. Her friends never expected it to happen to her. She came forward in this case with such high publicity. I think a lot of women realize that they're not alone, that it's nothing to be embarrassed about.
You may have an illusion about abuse that I want to kind of point out here for a few minutes. First of all, if you think about abuse primarily occurring with younger couples, remember, I was 62 when that picture was taken. My abuser was 63. If you think it primarily occurs when people are getting to know each other, remember, I was married 43 years and dated him 3 years before that. If you think abuse primarily occurs with people who have less education, remember, I had a master's degree. My abuser had a PhD. If you believe that abuse is only when someone's hit regularly, like every day or every week, the last time prior to this beating was 1 year prior. And as I said before, if you believe abuse is not there, if people have good relationships at times, again, you're the one making it happen.
Carolyn would show up for meetings with her arm in a sling, her neck in a brace, and I think we had all just come to the conclusion that she was a klutz. That's, we should have been more observant, but, when she said she hurt her arm doing this or hurt her arm doing that, we believed her. And it wasn't the truth, but we were not perceptive enough to see that. But I have to say that as far as the time we spent with them as a couple, I personally never picked up any kind of friction or
any vibes, nothing. It was, Mr. and Mrs. Wonderful couple. If you suspect something, then you start looking for clues. But if you don't suspect something, you're not looking for clues. And neither one of us suspected anything.
When you are in an abusive relationship, you are learning to work with it. You function with it every day. You don't even realize you're doing so. You rationalize it, you minimize it, you justify it, you excuse it, you say, oh, it's just that he's having a bad day, he's not feeling well, he's getting older. Now, I know that just simply empowers the abuser.
We now work with police officers to gain evidence, at the time of the crime, and to produce that evidence in court. We're able to proceed with cases now where even the victim recants. And I think it was last September, October, we had our first trial, evidence-based trial. And in that particular case, the abused lady came to court and denied that the defendant, the perpetrator, hit her. She said on the stand to the jury, this man did not strike me. But because of the training and this focus on evidence-based prosecution, we were able to produce witnesses with the help of the police that came to court and said that they saw this man, this defendant, actually slam her head against the dashboard several times. And I'm happy to report to you the jury found that guy guilty. So this was a case where a woman couldn't even help herself.